What's up, mi gente? It's your papi Frankie Hidalgo right here. So today we're going to go over this Afro-Caribbean rhythm that's so popular in the dance floors, and it's called merengue. Now, here's the thing about merengue. I was looking online to see the information and the tutorials that were out, and you know what? There's a lot of great tutorials, a lot of great people teaching it, but there's one big issue. There's not enough information to demonstrate the different types of merengue that exist, and also that merengue has clave. I mean, did you know merengue has clave? A lot of people don't. You'd be surprised. So what I want to do today is talk a little bit about the different types of merengue, and then I want to focus on merengue derecho, which is a type of merengue that was popular between the 80s to mid-90s and was made popular by artists like Juan Luis Guerra, Wilfrido Vargas, José Esteban y La Patria Quince, and those are just a couple to name a huge list of them, all right? Now, let's talk a little bit about merengue and the different types of merengues you find. So the traditional original stuff with the ripping fast accordion players and la tambora con la huira going, that was merengue ripiao. Now that eventually had a cousin, you can call it, a merengue called merengue pambiche that sort of developed from that. And after that, we get this era of merengue derecho, which was the stuff that was more on the market, that sort of made it to the Latin top 40 mainstream. Okay, so that was till about the mid 90s, and then between the early 90s, we get this subgenre of merengue called merengue bomba, which was made popular by Los Hermanos Rosario. So the majority of their hits had this idea of merengue bomba. After that, we get what's called merengue maco, which is the stuff that you were probably dancing to, or your mom made you dance when you were a kid. Stuff from Elvis Crespo, Eddie Herrera, La Máquina, to name a few. And then from there, we get this era of merengue majao, which is that fat do 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 do, and you got those guys sometimes having, or whatever it is, right? So that's more of merengue majao, all right? And then we got all sorts of weird, different types of merengue genres. There's probably merengue tong. Who knows what they've done with merengue? We're not too worried about those ones. We're going to worry about the more traditional stuff where the piano definitely plays a much more predominant role and is a little bit busier, and it's also the foundations. Now, people, if you don't know your stuff, you can't say you play merengue. You have to understand the roots, just like salsa, just like anything. You can't just pick up the new stuff and say, I know how to play merengue or I know how to play salsa. It doesn't work like that. You got to listen to the masters. You got to listen to the veterans. You got to listen to the people that made this stuff happen, all right? You got to listen to them. You got to understand that before you can call yourself, a salsa or merengue player, whatever it is. You got to understand the roots. So please go do your homework. Start listening to this stuff, okay? I don't care if you say, oh, the recordings sound bad or I don't like it. If you can't appreciate that, then how can you consider yourself a Latin piano player that understands these genres? It's super important. Enough about my rant. Let's get to the business here. Okay, so merengue derecho. We're going to start this merengue montuno on a 3-2 clave. So that's going to be our tempo. We're going to do it nice and slow for today, okay? So now, keeping that in mind, this is how it should sound. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, let's break this down. So what I'm doing is I'm playing a C and a G chord back and forth, 1 and 5. On my C chord, I'm basically going back and forth from the 5th and the 6th of that C chord. So if you notice, I'm doing that. It's like I'm doing a C major and an A minor, okay? From there to my G chord, I'm just going G, and I go down to the 7th. So root 7th, okay? That's to break it down. Now in between, I'm just putting the other chord tones of the chord. So starting on C, I play G, play C and E. Okay, so G, C and E, A, C and E, A, G, C and E, A. Okay, let me do that slow. Awesome. Okay, so from there to go to the G chord, I'm gonna do the same thing. So G, B and D, F, B and D, F, G, B and D, F. So that's going to sound like this. So far we got that much. Okay, let's put it together. Now, let's understand how it lands within the context of the bars, okay? So my first hit actually starts on the 4 and. Since it's on the 3 side, we started on the syncopation. So that is going to be on the 4 and, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, to 1. That is super important. That tells us we're now on the 2 side, because now the rest of them are going to land on beats. It's going to look like this. And 1. Now the next one's 2, 3. So watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, that's the basic idea of merengue. So now, let's put this 1 contact. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it. That's merengue for you. So what we'll do next class, we'll learn some variations on merengue derecho, and we'll start breaking down some different types of merengue montunos in different styles of merengue. If there's any material you'd like me to teach you or put online as tutorials, let me know. I'm always more than happy to take suggestions and to improve the channel so that there's better material and better content for everybody, okay? All right, mi gente, Dios te bendiga a todos. Have a great one, okay? Take care. See you.